Well, hello, 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 everyone. How is everyone doing today? Hope everyone is doing amazing, as usual. How was everyone's weekend? Mine was pretty good. Did a lot of errands. Ran a lot of errands this weekend. This weekend was about getting stuff done around the house. And then I actually helped a buddy remodel his bathroom as well. Of course, he had to pay me with food. But I think that was cheap labor, if you ask me. Right? So, yes. Today, we're going to continue the Pluralsight course on Prism for WPF. I just got word back from Pluralsight. Their proposal was accepted. We are official. Have the green light. Juan, yes, sometimes food is the best payment. I don't personally drink. I don't drink alcohol myself, but I've heard beers are a great form of payment for others as well. So yeah, so we're official. We have the green light. The Introduction to Prism for WPF course is a go. So all this work we're doing, we actually get to use it. Great. I signed my contract and my statement of work just the other day. I have a meeting with my editor tomorrow to go over some details, and then it's time to start recording, getting this course knocked out. Harrison, it's best after the remodeling is done, otherwise it could be bad. I can see that. You probably don't want to be drinking a lot of alcohol while you're operating tools. Actually, my buddy sliced his thumb with an X-Acto knife, and he wasn't even drinking. So just imagine if he would have been drinking what he would have done to himself. It was so funny because we just started. Like, just started. The very first thing he did, he sliced his thumb open, opening boxes. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. David, thank you for the subscribe. I really appreciate it. Though I didn't see a notification come through, I did see the chat message. Thank you very much. You are appreciated, my friend. So yes, we have to continue our momentum. I mean, we're making good progress on this Prism course. So today, I want to wrap up the Module 3 slides, which is all about regions, and then we have to create the samples for regions, right? So we're going to do a quick sample on how to define a region, and then we have to do a sample on creating a custom region adapter, and then we can tick this module off as done. Obviously, I still have to do the recording and stuff. But I'm not going to do that on stream. I will record the content off stream, and then maybe when I have a whole bunch done, maybe I could like do the editing live on stream, so you can guys see what it takes to edit a course. But yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right into it because I actually don't have a lot of time today. Boise Code Camp is right around the corner. It's on March 21st, so I don't have a ton of time. I have a planning meeting at 12 o'clock today, so I have to leave here to meet 30 minutes early. Needs to say, I only have like an hour and 15 minutes today. So let's just jump right into it. Entity Atom, that would be very cool. I've been wanting to try getting into the Pluralsight author space. Well, this is what it takes. When you create a course, this is exactly what you're going to have to go through to create a course. And so you get to see what it's like before you even do it. Okay, so last Thursday, we were working on the slide deck about regions, right? And I did offline, I did make a few changes because I had an epiphany. Like, it hit me. And sometimes this happens when you go through something over and over and over. It's like you finally start to see how it flows, right? And so our table of contents, or our agenda, is the same, but I formatted the slides slightly different, right? So essentially, here, let me just run through it. I'm going to run through it for everyone. If you saw me on Thursday, this will look really familiar, but you'll see where it's changed. Okay, so we're going to talk about what regions are, understanding the region manager, defining regions, what a region adapters are, and then creating a StackPanel region adapter, right? I think that's a pretty good agenda. I'm going to stick with that. Now, why won't this go to the next slide? Oh, there we go. Detonated. Guys, can I override a style setter property after I've created it? Override a style setter property? I think you mean like a dynamic resource that you could change at runtime? Something like that? If I understand correctly, I think you're thinking about a dynamic resource, if I understand your question detonated. So we talk about what regions are. We talk about, yeah, they're placeholder for dynamic content. And then we have this cool little visualization where we start adding regions and kind of talk about the concept of what a region is and how views are injected into it and how you can even move the regions around. It doesn't change anything, yada, yada, yada. We talk about how it doesn't have any knowledge of the views and how you can create them, right, using the region manager, using either the region name attached property in XAML or the set region name in the code behind, depending on what you're doing, right? Then we have to start talking about the region manager itself. And this is where I kind of change things, right? I kind of change things a little bit, and you'll see where this happens. So we say, yeah, it maintains a collection of the regions. We talk about how when you create regions, it kind of it creates instances of those regions that are managed in the region manager, right? All that great stuff. But this is where it changed from Thursday when we were talking. We were talking about how it maps region adapters and all that stuff. But actually, I started thinking I had to take a step back because I realized I was relying on the old course too much, right? So when I was looking at this old course, and I was looking at what I was talking about, so I'll play this really quick. Oh, come on. And we came through this. Right here. Right, so I started depending on this too much. And I realized, wait a minute, I have to break that mindset. This is a new course. This is an updated course. I need to make the content more applicable, right? More... easier to understand and more detailed, okay? Death Knight. If you apply a style to, say, all button elements, I think you can override it for certain buttons by setting a style directly on. Not sure if that's what you want. Okay, so we're talking about Detonated's question about a style. I've created a style. Detonated, I've created a style. It's used for buttons, and it has in-setter properties. But now I want to create another style that adds another setter property. If I try to create a new style in place, use the based on. You'll create a style based on, and then you'll use the based on to point to wherever that other style is coming from. So just Google or Bing or whatever search engine you use, WPF style based on. And it's kind of like you create a style based on another, and you just kind of inherit all those properties, but add new ones. So look at that one, Detonated. Okay, so back to the region manager. So yes, it maintains a collection of regions, but it also provides access to regions. Okay. I totally forgot. Like I said, I got locked into thinking the old school, like how I did it 10 years ago. Like, no. The region manager is core to a Prism application. You interact, and I started thinking, well, what do you use the region manager for? Well, you use it to manipulate regions. So yes, you have to have access to the regions, and the region manager does that. So I was like, wait, then it clicked. What else does it do? Well, you use it for view composition. This is view discovery, view injection. You use it for region navigation, and you use it to define regions. This is the attached property that we just talked about in the previous slide. So I started thinking about this. This made so much more sense. Like if you're new to Prism and you start, and I talk about the region manager, now you know what you use it for. This is core. So I think this makes a much more sense than what I had before. And Entity Atom. Oh wait, Juan, there's a Slack channel for Prism too. Yes, there is a Slack channel for Prism. There is. And Death Knight, but you must be a sponsor and wait for the perk guide to send you the info. And wait, just kidding. Yes, that's true. You do have to be a sponsor to be part of the Prism Slack channel. However, I'll bring it up real quick. So if we come into the Prism Slack channel, this is what it looks like. And we have topics for Xamarin Forums, WPF, the template pack. We have a private one for Teams. But as you can see, Dan and myself, we respond to these. And we have 901 people just in the Xamarin Forums channel. So it's a pretty big community that we have here. And actually, thank you, Dan, for sharing that link. Dan shared 2 links in the chat, one for sponsor Brian, one for sponsor Dan. And what this does is it essentially takes you to our GitHub sponsors. And this is where you can decide, hey, is the content we deliver worth $1 a month to you? Worth $5 a month, right? Worth $10 a month. Whatever it's worth, whatever you can, help sponsor us, it's great. So, for example, if you wanted access to the Slack channel, a $5 sponsor level gets you there. Okay. But yeah, and it's important. It's important to realize that when you sponsor through GitHub, you have to ping us to let us know your email, because if it's not public, we can't contact you. So you'll have to hit us on Twitter or on GitHub or through an issue or something. You have to get a hold of us to let us know where to send your invite. Okay, awesome. Death Knight. Only joking. I recently sponsored to thank Brian and you, Dan, for the... Yes. Oh, my God. So much appreciated. Thank you very much. And that channel announcement I did hit people in 25 times. Oh, okay. Okay, back to the region manager. Back to the region manager. So compared to what I had last time, this more accurately describes what you're going to be using the region manager for in your Prism application. You will use it for all of this stuff. What I did in the last case, this was not descriptive. Like, really, maintains collection of regions and provides maps region. You don't need to know anything about mapping region mappers. So you just got to know what a region adapter is. You don't have to necessarily know what does the work, right? So yeah, so change that. Then we do our sample and slide. Yeah, okay, add the namespace, attach property, right? We talk about how the names must be unique. Juan, that course was so confusing. You know what? I agree. And I blame myself because that was my very first course. And I was trying to show all these different ways of doing things, which showed you like doing MVVM differently, or doing this differently, or doing this different ways, because I was trying to please everybody's style. And I realized now, through experience, that was the bad approach. That was the wrong approach. I need to show people how I write Prism apps, because, I mean, I maintain and know the framework. I wrote most of the code. I should probably show you how I would do it if you were me, and show you the best practice. It's kind of a loaded term, but show you the way I do things in which I'm successful and have always been successful. So no more of this, oh, you could do it this way. You could do it that way. You could do it that way. Nope. This is how you do it. That's what I'm going to show you. So that will make things a lot more clear for everyone. At least that's what I hope, right? I want to eliminate that confusion and showing thousands of ways to do something. I'm just going to show you one way. All right. So we talk about region names. Must be unique. Huh. I want it to be all for one and none for all. One way to lead the way. That's right. Entity Atom. I really like Prism because it has a low entry point. You can get started using the simpler parts like commanding bindable base and get comfy with iNotify property chains. Yes. And you can later level up to the other pieces like even aggregator regions, etc. Exactly. Prism is very modular in itself, and you could use what you want, don't use what you don't want. Okay. At this point, we do a demo. So today we're going to write this demo. Okay. Then we go into region adapters. This is important to understand because, they adapt a view to a region, yada, yada, yada. Takes the view, adapts it, takes the code and adds it to the actual host control, acting as a region. We talk about the supported region adapters that ships with Prism, right? That's including content controls, item controls, selectors, and selectors in WPF or combo box, list box, ribbon, and tab control. And then, of course, anything else you're going to have to create a custom region adapter. And that's where we get into the process of creating a custom region adapter. Basically go through the steps. And I think we've decided on the last stream that it's better to walk through the step, one by one. So what I mean by this, okay, we're going to say, first, you're going to derive by the region adapter base of T. And then we're going to show some code. In this case, we have a class called StackPanel region adapter. And it's derived from region adapter base of T, where T is the control being the host. Boom. That's the clip. Recording done. You know what? Actually, I should have just recorded that. Where's my record button? Maybe I should record this live stream. Okay. And then we talk about the next step would be to override the create region method. And then we talk about, you know, the different types of regions, a single active region, all active region, and then a normal region. Now, as you may guess, anything with active in it supports activation. This also supports the iActiveAware interface. Once again, I'll talk about that a little more in the course, but just be aware of that. And then we'll jump into that behavior, okay? Okay, so here we are. Oh, wait, I need to colorize this. I need to colorize that. Entity Atom, clip it! What are you recording? You are recording this live stream. Yes, Dan, I am recording live stream, but I don't think the format of the live stream is going to work for Pluralsight. Yeah, but he doesn't publish it after. Actually, Juan, I do publish it after. I do very much so. If you ever miss one of my streams, go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/BrianLagunas. And I have all my Twitch streams archived. So if you ever miss any of those, I do archive all my past streams on my YouTube channel. Just so you know. Okay, back to this. Pluralsight 1 hour vid. Okay. No, Juan, I am definitely... So Juan said he doesn't think we're going to publish these. I am definitely publishing these for sure. But you know what? I should actually colorize this. I think we said classes are blue. What was my naming, my coloring convention? Maybe we should make it orange. Are methods orange? And I think classes were blue. I don't remember. Dang it. You know what? For now, I'll just make it blue. I just want to highlight what we're changing, right? So maybe the blue will work. I don't know. Definitely. Yeah, you can go back and watch all the vids. The ones for Outlook were very enlightening regarding dialogue service and region adapters. Yes, those were actually pretty good ones. I need to write more specific. So besides the Pluralsight course, just in case you're wondering, but besides this Pluralsight course, I also do smaller, less detailed videos about Prism on my YouTube channel. But I really do appreciate everyone who watches my Pluralsight course because this does help fund all my community activities. Helps pay for my travel to events, helps pay for my system, my lights, my computer, like my camera, like it pays for everything. It pays for all my, you know, helps pay, I should say. Helps pay for my Adobe subscriptions so I can do all the recordings and my Camtasias and my Photoshops and all that stuff. So stuff adds up. It's expensive to create content. So every little bit helps for sure. Death Knight, if you need ideas, I can give you a ton for new content. But it's $0 per idea. Hey, I'm always looking for content ideas for sure. So if you have content ideas, you know what? Do you already have my email? Here, let me share it with everyone. blagunas@infragistics.com. You got content ideas? I think, yeah, you've already emailed me before, Death Knight. So you do have this, but for anyone else, just blagunas@infragistics.com. That might be a... Let me zoom in. Might be a little small for the Twitch stream. Feel free to ping me. Also, if you did sponsor it, haven't got your Slack channel invite, go ahead and email me and I'll get that over to you. Okay. So next we go into the next step, which is override the adapt method. And this is where I talk about, this is where I talk about, yeah, you got to add the view to the region, the host control, yada, yada, yada. And I did it again. I want to highlight what we're changing. Like that. Actually, let me go back here. What'd I do? What'd I do here? Oh, yeah, I thought so. Yes, Death Knight. Yes, sir. And Brian will respond. I try to respond as quickly as possible, but I get hundreds and hundreds of emails a day. So if it takes me a day or two, just be patient with me, please. Okay. So then we talk about implementing the code. And lastly, that you have to register your adapter in the Prism application. And this is where we did that. Okay. And then we go to the demo. And I think we're good there. So I think the slide deck is done. I do need to find some icons, but I'm going to wait for that. Let's go ahead and start creating these samples because I am on a time crunch today. And I want to get those samples written. So we are done with this. Let's save. And let's write some samples. Dan. How do you spell Lagunas? Oh, wait, never mind. It's on my beer bottle. That's Lagunitas, Dan. You know that. Oh, my gosh. It took a bit, but was certainly within the realm of expectations, so no complaints. Awesome. Okay, let's open up. Where was that? I think I put it in my Dropbox. Yes. Where did I... Uh-oh. Where did I put my demos there? I think it's under dev. Does anyone remember where I put that? Put my, my samples? I don't remember what I did with that. Not under repos. What the heck? Be careful, Dan is in the chat, so he might be very critical. So this is Angular. That's not the demo app. Fin.js, financial data grid. Oh, Pluralsight, do not delete. This is it. Woohoo! Oh, had me scared for a minute there. Okay. So let's go. We're going to take this one. Copy. Module 2. We're going to go to Module 3. This is going to be defining regions. And we'll do a before folder. That's where this goes. And then we'll do an after folder. And I'll pop that in there. Awesome. Okay. No clue where you put your car keys. I think that was with the vids. God, please redo my birth process, and this time land meat and basils or what the heck, Lumpjacker? What are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, Death Knight. Dan and I, we like to troll each other. It's all in good fun. We are actually really close personal friends, so. In case you didn't know, Dan is a total bigot, racist, misogynist pig, so. I'm joking! I'm joking! Do not take that seriously. Do not clip that and leave the context out. No, we give each other a hard time constantly. KR Jax! My alarm didn't go off, and I worked through the stream start. It's okay, I arrived just in time to learn about Dan. Alright, so this demo is about, this is the after we are doing defining a region, which is really easy. This is going to take like 3 seconds because we're going to delete this. Going to put in a content control to act as our region. We're going to add our namespace. And then region manager dot region name equals content region. Boom! Sample done. Dan, who needs enemies with friends like you? Okay, yeah. So that's how easy it is to create a region. Boom, region created. Amazing, isn't it? Not hard at all. So let me I'm gonna run this just to make sure I didn't break anything, because you never know. I learned my lesson a long time ago. No matter how simple your sample is, you better run that thing to make sure it works. And boom. Okay, done. Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to close this. I'm going to go delete that. Delete these. Copy. So the next one is going to be a custom region adapter. Now, I'm going to have to really think about this one. I might need everyone's opinion after. Okay, so I think that's fine for the before. So let's copy into the after. Let's open this up. So for our custom region adapter, we're going to use a StackPanel. So let's just run this. Once again, I don't trust Visual Studio anymore. Anytime I move a project, I always rerun it, because for some reason, sometimes when you move things around, Visual Studio does not like it. And it will seriously yell at you. Okay, so now change that to a StackPanel. And boom! Perfect. An exception occurred because we don't have a region adapter for it. Yep, an exception occurred while creating a region with the name blank. The exception was key not found. The iRegionAdapter adapter of type StackPanel is not registered in the region adapter mappings. Bow, bow, bow. How do you like that? Okay, so that means we're going to create a new folder. Remember, this is the after. Whatchamacallit? The after demo. I'll call it core. Add another folder. Call it regions. I like to put all my region related code into a regions folder. And then we'll add a new class. StackPanel region adapter. Did I spell that right? StackPanel region adapter. Okay. That works. Let's see. We'll go region adapter base of T. Let's go using Prism.regions. And yeah, okay, so we've got to add that. Implement base abstract class. Now, in this case, I do not care about activation. So we'll say return new region. Well, I feel a sneeze coming on. Is it going to hit me or not? Maybe not. And we'll do this in a minute. But what we also have to do is we're going to get this error that says there's no argument giving that corresponds to a formal parameter region behavior factory. Well, this is because we have to actually implement the base class. And it's asking for the region behavior factory. Whoops. And then we're going to pass this to our, not like that, to our base. And I misspelled that. Let's fix this, shall we? It won't let me rename? Come on. There. All right, I think that's spelled correctly. So we have to add that constructor. Might as well make that public. All right, this looks good. Now what we need to do, this is the fun part, is, you know what? I've already done this. There is no need to waste everyone's time. Whoops. StackPanel, region adapter. I've already done this on my blog, so I'm going to copy this code. Into the add-on, I'm still working on my MVVM in Blazor project. Oh, nice. Though technically, I'm not really sure if it's really MVVM because it's Blazor, right? It's not really MVVM, but it's kind of cool. It's close, right? It's similar. All right, and I'll just paste this in here. And we'll have to add our collection changed event here. And so, okay. Boom. Time saver. Okay, so all this is doing is we're grabbing the region and we're hooking into the views collection changed event. Okay, now, just for fun, let's talk about the collection changed. And there's actually views and active views. Okay, so if you're doing this and you see active views, there's a difference between views and active views. And so, of course, I'm not covering this in the course, but this is for you guys, right? It's important to understand the difference here. Because remember, I kind of talked about activation when you create your region. We had this, you know, all active region or single active region. And that basically says within this region, how many views can be activated at once? Is it like a, think of it like a tab, right? Only one tab is ever selected at a time. So that would be a single active region because you'll select the tab, boom, single view activated. However, in something like a list box where you have a whole bunch of views shown at once, they can all be active at the same time, right? So think of it that way. Now, this comes in handy when you start to do region behaviors or things like that with active views. When you want to respond to the active views only being swapped in and swapped out. So if you want to think of a region like a deck of cards, and every time you place a view in that region, it stays there. It's just being stacked, excuse me, it's being stacked one on top of the other, right? And so when you activate a region, when you activate a view in a region, right? We have this stack of cards now. If that view is at the bottom of that stack and you activate it, whoop, it just brings it to the top of the stack, right? So that's kind of how the activation of Prism works. So it's important that you don't get confused when you start writing a region adapter because you want to actually respond to the views being added to the region, not active views being activated and deactivated. Not that. Completely different, right? So the views collection. Right? So once we hooked into the collection changed event, now we could say, okay, if the action is add, we're adding views, we're going to loop through all the new items, and we're going to add those items to the region target.children element. Now, you say, well, how do you know it's children? Well, because our region target is a stack panel. And in order to add elements to a stack panel, you have to do that using the children property. So we're saying StackPanel.children.add this view. All right, so that's how the region adapter works. If I go back to my slides, PowerPoint, I think this will make a lot more sense to you now. If we look at how this region adapter works, right? We have this incoming view, which goes to the region adapter, which adapts that view, right? It calls the code required to add that view to the controls tree. And so in this case, we have our stack panel. We have all these views that we want to add. And we're going to do that by adding it to the children property of the stack panel. So now we're done. That's it. However, you know, we could also do, and maybe I should do this. I'm not sure. Maybe we should do, you know, if the e.action is remove, maybe we should do both. We're going to remove those items, right? I mean, it's that simple. That's all the region adapter does. Now, you can get pretty creative with these for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and remove that. But this is essentially the code. This is all we have to do. Now, if we can't run it yet because we're still going to get the exception. Oh, Dan has a question. What's the difference between a junior developer and a senior developer? The junior developer goes to Google and copies the code. The senior developer goes to their blog and copies the code. Oh, that's a good one, Dan. I like that. You know, I always tell people, I blog for selfish reasons, right? Whenever I do something a lot, or you know, a problem that I've run into that I don't want to forget, I'll blog about it because it's a note to myself. So, and normally when I search Google for an issue, my blog comes up for the problems that I run into because for some reason I just keep forgetting how to do certain stuff. It's hilarious. KRJax. So here you could check if you're trying to add more than one Highlander control. Yes, you can. You totally can. And throw an exception. Absolutely. For example, here you can say, hey, if new items.count is greater than 0, yeah, one too many. Or you can say, hey, if children.count, like if you already have children in there, don't add any more. Throw an exception or something like that. Like, yeah, you can do all kinds of logic. You control how the views are added to your region. And I have on my blog actually another region adapter for the doc manager. Oh, I misspelled that. Doc manager. Search. So I have a region adapter for the doc manager, which is a pretty involved region adapter. Because there's certain things you have to do, you know, for floating windows and popping windows out and data bindings and creating. So here's another example of a more complex region adapter. You know what? I'll just paste this in chat. So if you have a different control, like maybe you're using a crappier control like Telerik, I don't know, and not using the awesome Infrajustice controls, you can use that as a guide on, you know, how you could create a more complex region adapter. I definitely had to blog that one because that's a lot of work on that one. Okay, so now the next step is now that we have our StackPanel region adapter, we have to go into our app. Nope, that's not the app. Our app.xaml.cs. So much hate to only the WPF stuff because the WPF stuff is so bad. I don't know why people like, I don't know. I'm opinionated. I can't help it. The two top WPF stuff, DevExpress and Infrajustice, top two. Okay. So now we need to override the configure region adapter mappings right here. And we're going to make sure we call base on this for sure. KRJax, we use DevExpress. Yes, DevExpress is a good WPF product. Though they did do some weird stuff with their ribbon and like their menus. So that's kind of painful if you're trying to use a Prism region adapter with that because they did something very, very, very different. Dan, you're curious your thoughts on Sync Fusion for WPF. Stay away. Seriously, stay away from Sync Fusion for WPF. That is probably the worst quality written code I've ever seen in my life. The slowest code you'll ever see. Oh my god, stay away from that one, please. I would recommend Telerik over Sync Fusion any day. Okay, so now I'm going to say region adapters mappings dot register mapping We'll say control type, type of StackPanel, right? Yes, Dan. I would. Let's put it this way: if a company hired me and they were paying me $1 million a year, and they said, "Oh, by the way, we use Syncfusion," oh, sorry, I can't work for you. Sorry, not going to happen. And then the region adapter. This is the container dot resolve my stack panel region adapter. I spell that right? Nope. Yeah, I think so. There we go. And that's all we got to do. Death Knight. Yeah, take a pay cut to work with crappy code. Take a pay cut. I wish I got $1 million. So before I worked at Infragistics, I was a software solutions architect for a construction company. We built things like nuclear power plants, bridges, dams, wind turbines, things like that. And we had about 60,000 employees, worldwide. And I was responsible for evaluating control vendors and picking which control. And I was responsible for our architecture and how we architect our applications and all that stuff. And so I have a lot of experience on the WPF products of all the major control vendors. And I have very strong opinions about them. And yeah, Syncfusion is the worst. That's my opinion. Obviously, everyone has opinions. Don't take my word for it. Try it yourself and have a puke bucket ready, because it will be painful and make you sick. Hold on. Just stepping off my soapbox. Okay. So we did that. And actually, let me look at my slide real quick. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. I did show that. Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm glad I looked at this, because we have to call base here. We have to call base, so I better put this code snippet. Hey, where's my... We have to put that in there. That would be a huge mistake. Danny's thinking, what are you, Mike Bloomberg? Death Knight too tall. That's a nice jab right there. Okay, whoops. So yes, we have to call base, because the base implementation contains all of our default implementations of region adapters. So obviously we do not want to be overwriting that. However, you know what? Dan, your opinion, I think we need to add a feature to Prism. I want to do this. I want to do this, Dan. Yep. Let's do that. I like that better. Let's go to Prism. Submit a feature request. Let's see. I want a feature request. We'll go, we want... What is that? Register mappings? I forgot. Yeah, region adapter mappings. Yes. Okay. Dot register mapping. There we go. Region adapter map. Well, I guess we'll leave this. Even though we have tags. Okay. Dan, if you want, we could backport and do an SR for Prism 7.2, or you just say Prism 8. Let's do Prism 8. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Okay. Summary. Let's add a generic method to the region adapter mapping.register mapping method to simplify the registration of custom region adapters. Okay, and we'll fix that. What? Oh my god. Yes, thank you, Death Knight. My daughter gets on me all the time because I look at the keyboard. I don't look at what I'm typing. That's just, it's a habit I can't break. So let's just copy what I wrote here. This is what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Okay, let's be it. Currently, we have to write this, but I want this. So currently we have to do this. But I want that. Perfect. And I know the purpose. I don't need to tell that. Okay. Submit new issue. And let's put this in WPF. Cool. All right, I'm glad we can knock that out. Let me bring back my demo I'm writing. I can't believe I just now saw that. Detonated. And you should change your base parameter on the last slide. But, oh, what'd I do? Hold on. Slide. Oh, yes. Thank you. That copy and paste. I had to keep this short because it would override. I already had to shrink the font. But yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so we'll save that. All right. So now this should run and not crash. Beautiful. Didn't crash. It worked. Now, how do I know it worked? Well, I'm not going to do this in the course, but I'm going to show everyone that it worked. Let's create, let's do this. What should I do? Just on initialized, say var rm equals container.resolve I region manager rm dot regions index of content region dot add. What are we gonna add? Let's add a var button. Equals new button. Content equals hello. And we'll add the button. Whoops, forgot my equal sign. And let's just run it. Did I not name it content region? No, I did right there. Oh, okay. Not a good place to do that. Sorry. Not a good place to do that at all. Instead, let's do this. Content region. How about that? We'll do register view with region. And I don't want to, we'll say, yeah, sure. Not what I'm looking for because I won't be able to control it. And I don't want to do, I could do a, actually I could do, nah, I'm not going to do that. I just want to see something pop in there. Where's it at? Actually, that's a good point, Death Knight. Might be another spot to put a generic right here. Actually, great point. Great point. Let's do that. That's another good generic spot. Okay, your idea. This is going to be Cartoli. Hey, thanks for joining. This is going to be region. Whoops. Region manager dot register view with region generic. I want to add a generic method for the region manager dot register view with region method. So right now we must do let's copy and paste. Right here, type of my view, right? We'll say region manager. What I want to do. And we'll say my view. That looks good. WPF. Sweet. All right. Detonated. You can restore the previously closed tab by Control-Shift-T, Brian. Oh. Really? Oh, that's amazing! I didn't know you could do that. Thank you. Detonated. Thank you very much. That is cool. How have I been living? I've been living by doing boop, boop, right, and then boop. God. Oh, you've opened a whole new world to me. Thank you very much. Cool. All right. Well, I don't care about that. That's the code. That's what we've got to do. So this sample is done. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. With an N, reopens last closed window. Really? Control-Shift-N? Oh, that's no, that opened a private one. Careful, I don't know what your last window was. Death Knight. I didn't think they had electricity in Idaho. They don't. I have my my hamsters are running in a cage outside, generating energy or electricity for me. So, alrighty. So we are done with this one. Yep, yep. Let's delete that and delete. Perfect. Perfect. Here, I thought it was a spud generator. Nope, hamsters. All right. So we have our defining regions and our custom region adapter. Module 3 is donezo when it comes to samples. So let's, I'm going to take this, send to compressed demos. Let's copy module 3, paste, delete. Nice. Delete for everyone. Lumberjack, what do you look while hiring candidates? It depends on the position I'm hiring for, honestly. Like if you're interviewing for a technical sales job, you better have some technical experience and some sales experience and have a personality. And it depends at what level, right? Are you looking for a junior, senior, intern. Like it just depends on what you're hiring for. Oh, I don't hire web devs. I do not hire web devs. Sorry. You'll have to ask someone else that question. Does anyone in chat hire web devs? Maybe they can help Lumjacker figure out what he needs to do to prepare for web interviews, is what I'm assuming. Am I wrong? Just kind of figuring out the best way to prepare for a web interview, possibly. Okay, let's see. It's 10:55. I have a few. I have like 15, 20 minutes left. So what can we do with 15, 20 minutes? Well, you know what we could do, actually. Let's actually just finish off this slide deck. Lumjacker, please hire me. I know how to inspect an HTML element. Hey, that's a start. That is a start. Okay, so now I need to just put these icons in here, and I can call it like done. Ugh, this is the boring stuff. So yep. Let's see. Tools, maybe? Icon search. Gotta find an icon, people. Gotta find an icon. This one is talking about regions, which... Actually, what am I using? Let me see something. Let me duplicate that, and I'm going to delete, 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 delete. I'm gonna ungroup this. Any more ungrouping? Okay, no more groups there. Did I just make that? Oh, no, don't do that. Ah! Hey, you know what? This could be an icon. Boom! I like that. That'll work for that one. Okay, so now I could delete that. Okay. What are regions? Same one. Use the same one. Right? Same thing. Now I need region manager. Let's look for manager. This might not be bad. A little window with like lots of the different regions in it, maybe. Maybe not a person so much. Don't want a person. File drawer might not be bad. Actually. Course 1! Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Oh, hey, Dan has a response to Lumjacker. I can tell you in general, for developers I look for, are you using keyword loading your resume? Are you providing me with resources to have confidence that you know what you're doing? Do you have any evidence of doing something in your tech stack on GitHub? Did you open issues? Do you have sample projects on your GitHub account? Do you have a blog? Have you helped people by answering questions on Stack Overflow? You don't have to do all, but enough that we believe you know what you're doing. Those are all good recommendations. Maybe the file drawer. I kind of like the file drawer, actually. Yes, I like this one. I like this one. File drawer will work. I'll use the same one because we're talking about the region manager. I like the tiered OR, Brian. Not exact, but shows kind of nesting and of controls regions. Well, that's the thing, is the region manager doesn't nest regions at all. It is a... Think of it as a dictionary. It's a flat list of regions. No nesting is occurring. So even though in your view, you may have a region, like your main region, and then you inject another region inside of that has a region called child region, to the region manager, those aren't nested. to the region manager, those are just listed side by side. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how they're defined or where they're defined in your application. The region manager will track them as a single list of regions. Okay, so there. Perfect. A region adapter. Region. Ooh, okay. I need a. Let's look at this. What do we have for? What do we have for adapters? Sure. An adapter. Let's plug it in there. Oh, I don't care. It's an icon. Creating a custom region adapter. Like I don't. Should they be different? I'm not sure. Now these will all be the same no matter what I choose. But maybe this one. No. Let me look. I mean, this isn't bad. For a custom region adapter, maybe? Can you have regions within regions? Yes, you can. You can definitely have regions within regions. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you can totally do that. Specifically, what you would do is you would have a region, and then preferably you would have a view that you inject into that has its own region. Now, yes, you can have a region within a region. Very rare, and I probably wouldn't recommend it because you're probably overcomplicating your architecture if you're doing that. I'm trying to think of anywhere you would do that. I've never done that, where you actually define an actual region inside another region. Like I said, it's always you're taking a region, injecting a view into it, and that view contains another region. That is very common. Inception, regions within regions within regions. Yes. The best way to slow down time. I mean, this could... I hate this part. Finding icons, so ridiculous. You know what? I don't think these icons have to actually really mean anything. But I wouldn't mind them being different. So let me put this one in here. Whoops. I mean, that's not horrible. I mean, we could see if we could find... where's... Yeah. So maybe not adapter. Region... Not adapter. You know what do you get when you type region? Nothing. Nothing. You get nothing. Okay, so they don't have anything with region. Do they have anything with connections? Oh, how about template? Template, or, oh, you know what? This one might not be bad. That one's kind of cool. That kind of looks like a regions. That kind of could be, okay, region manager. Region manager. I like this one better for regions, actually. I like that much better for regions. Detonated, thanks for joining you. Thank you for joining me. Very much. I will see you next time. Have a good evening. Yeah, I like this one much better for regions, actually. And then region manager, that's fine. I'm still not happy with the whole region adapter thing at all, actually. Not happy with this. Maybe. Could that be? No, that's not it. What was it? Section? Let's look for section. Ah, that same thing came up. Workflow. Workflow. What do we got here? That might not be bad. Yes, actually. That's like a step. Yeah, that's not bad. I kind of like that. Area. Nothing for area. Hold on, let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I can like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Like, these are the steps you're doing. I kind of like that. That's fine. It's an abstract. It's better than what that was. That's for sure. Okay. Yeah, much better than the Web of Confusion. Perfect. Okay, I think this slide is done. I think I'm happy with all the... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Tell you, I always forget something. Always. Okay, all those are the same. No misspellings. Kind of got... Oh, wait a minute. I don't like all those being the same color. At all. I should make this a different color. Like that. I should make the code we write green. Classes blue. Methods green. I should write this down, actually. That's what I should be doing. To me, it's too close to the background color, so it makes it a little harder to see. The green's hard to see? Or is the blue hard to see? No, the blue. Yeah. What are the... I don't know. I'm running out of time for today, though, so maybe I'll just revisit that later. Okay, I think this is like... This module's done and ready for recording, so that's awesome. Huh, Dan, looks fine to me, but I just got new glasses so I can see again. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Okay, so what's next on our list of things to do? We need to bring up our proposal. So we have done the course introduction slides, creating your first application slides and samples, and we just finished the slides and samples for regions. Next is modules. Oh, nice. Okay. So let's go ahead and stub that out. Oh, and actually, let me copy this. M4. Okay. I have the new course ID I need to use. Let me pull this up real quick. Course ID. What is it? I think it's in here. Where's my course ID? I think the course ID actually is... This has to be named properly. Prism-WPF-introduction dash. There we go. And then this is going to be... Oh, I closed that freaking document. It's fine. I'll open it back up. This is going to be called something with modules. Oh. Breaking... Oh, copy, come on. Breaking down the monolithic application into modules. That's a long title. There. Got that. And you know what? I'm just going to stop there. I don't get too far ahead of myself. Let's stop right there. I have my new course ID. So that's going to be good. So we'll start on Thursday. We will do Module 4. And actually, I need to start recording soon now that I have approval. But I have my meeting tomorrow with my editor. And my editor will basically go over all the details, make sure I'm going to record the right way that they want now, because it's been a while since my last course. And once I get the okay, I will start recording. And then, yeah, we're going to knock this course out, people. Lily! Hey! Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Although, you're kind of getting me at the end. Get me at the end. I have a meeting. I have a Boise Code Camp planning meeting, because Boise Code Camp is on March 21st. And I have to go meet with the other board members. And this is crunch time. It's only like 3 weeks left, man. We are stressing. We have facilities, we have food, we have our speakers. We got to get our schedule, all organized. We have to get our sponsors to pay us. That's the most important part. We need our money. Yeah, well, it's not much time to plan, but we've been working on this for months now, right? It's just, as we lead up, we meet more often because things really start, coming up quick. And so we gotta have contingency plans. Yes, Dan. Will it be the latest event to panic over the super flu? Right? No, we don't plan on canceling Boise Code Camp. That discussion did come up, right? But we're not going to cancel it right now. We're not that concerned about it. But we do have to make sure that we provide some guidance to people. We'll make sure we have some hand sanitizing stations, right? Yeah, every member gets a free mask. Yeah, so we'll probably send out a letter to all of our attendees saying, if you're sick, stay home, follow hygiene practices. Guys, when you leave the bathroom, when you wash your nasty hands, I know who you are. I've seen you. Like, guys are disgusting. They will go to the bathroom and walk out and not wash their nasty ass hands. Like, you just touched your genitals. Like, what? Come on. Lily, women aren't much better from what I've seen. Oh, great. It's everybody. It's everybody. But yeah, so we'll send out, an email saying, hey, just, if you're sick, stay home. We'll have some hand sanitizing stations. Wash your hands regularly. Things like that. Just take precautions. But yeah, we should be good. KRJ. Oh, wow. It's a free event. Sounds awesome. Yes, it is a free event. That's why we rely on sponsors so heavily, because although the event is free for everyone to attend, it costs about $25,000 to put on. We average about 1,700 registrations, and we got to feed these people. We hold the event at Boise State University, and they do not give us the facilities for free. We have to pay them, and they're very expensive. Lily, wow, maybe I should come to Boise. You should come to Boise. Actually, it's on the 21st. You still have time. And we don't have any cases of the flu, of the coronavirus, so... Yay! Wow, that's crazy. Why offer it for free? This is our 15th year of Boise Code Camp. And it's always been free. We have a whole, I forgot the word we use, but it's essentially a way of life for Boise Code Camp. Like, there's a Code Camp, declaration out there that Code Camps are always free. They do this, they do that. So yes, it's always free for attendees. We have a kids track we normally have about 400 kids alone just in the kids track. So it's a pretty large event. Death Knight, have you been doing the Boise Code Camp since day one? I have only been involved in Boise Code Camp for 10 years because I moved. Actually, hold on. No. 13 years. So of the 15, I've been part of it for 13. Yes. Man, time flies. Holy crap. But I've been doing it for 13 years. And so, but this is our 15th year total. And yeah, Dan, I charge $50. That gets refunded if you show up. No, because what happens is we have to refund everybody. I don't want no fees being charged. Like, I don't want to mess with that crap. You don't have to, because we're a 501(c), like we're an official, like, nonprofit. We have to do taxes, and that would just complicate our tax crap. We'd have to show all the payments we received, and we have to show all the refunds we, refunded, and don't even bother with that. So we're going to keep it free. We've even suggested like maybe making it $5 because food is crazy expensive. And we are forced to use the catering from Boise State University. You're just not allowed to use anyone else. And if you've ever hosted an event or been involved in an event that was responsible for catering, you would know how egregious the pricing is. It's ridiculous. Plus, there are people who can't afford the $50, like kids who may be less well. Yeah. This is all about community. Though we did talk about maybe $5 just to help cover food. Because we used to have breakfast. I think we're having breakfast this year because a company sponsored breakfast. But we had to drop breakfast a while back because it's just hard to feed lunch and breakfast to 1,700 people. I mean, that's stupid expensive. And yeah, we have limited sponsors. So then we had the idea, I was like, hey, well, we can have sponsors pay for breakfast. And if someone wants to sponsor the breakfast, then we have breakfast. If not, then we don't have it. And someone stepped up and they sponsored the breakfast. So awesome. Yes. Breakfast again. Yeah. Something to cover food would be reasonable, even if like $5 to $10. Yeah. We were kind of thinking that, right? Charging $5. But even then, we have areas of our community that are poverty stricken. And we don't want to have any type of barrier to people, no matter their living situation, to come and learn from the great presenters and learn great content and better themselves as developers. So we're like, you know what? We're just going to keep it free. We have tons of kids, high schools, elementary schools. We have schools. We have a technical school that actually takes a bus and drives 3 hours to bring their students to Boise Code Camp. That's how cool it is, right? And so we just didn't want any barrier to entry, so it's going to remain free as long as I'm in charge, right? So it's me and 2 other people, Scott Nichols and Chris Brandsma. We are the, what do you call it, of a 501(c). The managers? We're the board. Okay, we make all the decisions for the Code Camp, though we have a ton of great volunteers that help us put the event on, and without their help, we couldn't do it. They help get people, check people in, register people, get people to their sessions. Like, there's a lot that goes on into a Code Camp, and without volunteers, it just would not happen. So this is truly a community event. Sometimes we wind up paying out of our own pocket, actually, because we come up short on sponsors, but we do it. Oh, Dan's saying he can't go to McDonald's without spending $10. Yeah. That's true. Well, Wendy's just came out with their own breakfast, and it's actually pretty good. And so I heard McDonald's was giving away free sandwiches or something because of that. It's hilarious. That's hilarious. Wait, did you say you're bored, Lagunas? Yeah, exactly. But what's really cool about, Code Camp is my company lets me spend time to actually put and host this event because it does take a lot of time. I can't talk highly enough about Infragistics and their work balance, life-work balance, and their culture. It's amazing. So you should definitely check out our jobs. infrajustice.com, and check out our jobs page. And if you can get a job with us, you'll never want to quit. It's awesome. But actually, I have to go in about 10 minutes, and I don't even have pants on. So I need to go get ready. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Before I go, let's find somebody to raid, shall we? Let me bring this over. Let's see who is on. We have Code Rushed and CLW. Another thing we can do... don't forget pants. I never leave the house without pants. Well, except that one time. Let's see. Twitch. No. I want to go... Live Coders. Lily, help me out here. Livecoders.dev. Is that right? No. Is it Twitch/livecoders? Lily, help me out, please. Twitch. You know what? Screw it. I know where to go. I'll just go to my Twitch page. Mute myself. Okay. CLW, Code Rushed, me. Ooh, we got lots of good people. Lots of good people here. Oh, there it is. KR Jax. That's what I'm looking for. One thing I don't like about OBS. Let's do this. Let's find someone. CLW has 8. Beachcast has 5. You know what? Well, it says here it has 11. No, it's just CLW. No, you know what? I always do CLW. I'm not going to do that. Let's pick someone else. Let's do Code Rushed. Let's raid Code Rushed. JMSWR is the newest member. Well, let's give the new member some love. Where is he? Right here. But he has 91. What are you talking about, newest member? He has 91 people watching him right now. That is crazy. I don't know. He doesn't need any more people. Let's do Code Rushed. He's always working on some cool stuff. All right. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. I know you could spend your time doing anything else, yet you choose to spend it with me, doing some fun stuff. And I want to thank you and say I appreciate you. But I must get going. So let's raid right now. Thanks again. See you next time.